Melissa Joan Hart. I'm known as an actor, but I'm also a Nashville resident, and I can remember December 14th, 2012 like it was yesterday. I was a resident of Fairfield County, Connecticut. I was in the car with my husband when the news came across the radio that there had been a school shooting in Connecticut. I was saddened, but deep down I was thinking, couldn't happen in my community. It was only once I got home, turned on the TV, that I learned the whole story, that 20 angels and 6 educators have been shot and killed in their school. It shook my world. My 3 boys were very little at the time. My oldest was in 1st grade in the same county where so many babies that same age had been murdered. I will never forget that day. That day changed my thinking and my politics. In the days that followed, my mission became educating myself, my friends, anyone that would listen about gun violence in this country. And as I stand here today, 11 years later, gun violence is the #1 killer of children in America. It's a frightening fact that many Americans aren't even aware of. I stand here today as a resident of Nashville, Tennessee, someone who not only lives near the Covenant School, but who witnessed and even helped a kindergarten class escape to safety almost 6 months ago. Someone who's connected to many of the victims. Someone who, for the 3rd time in 11 years, has had her kids go in active lockdown. Someone who is sick of living in a world where people are afraid to go to school, to church, to the mall, to the movies, to the grocery store. Someone who is begging our elected officials to listen to the voice of the majority in this state and enact meaningful and measured laws to keep their citizens safe, which should be a top priority for any elected official. We aren't asking you to take away guns from law-abiding citizens. We are asking you to take steps towards keeping them out of the hands of those who are deemed dangerous. Domestic abusers, people with criminal records, people experiencing mental health crises. It just makes sense. I have to have a license, a registration, insurance to drive a vehicle. Secure storage laws, extreme risk protection orders, background checks on all gun sales and transfers. These are indisputable steps that we can take to make our town safer. Yes. A majority of Americans want stronger gun safety laws. I am standing here before you today, 11 years later and almost 1,000 miles away from Fairfield County, and yet we're having the same conversation that we did on December 14, 2012, and every day since. Our cries aren't being heard, and our kids are bearing the burden. Look, everyone can agree that we want our kids safe. We just disagree on how to do that. Some want more guns. Well, we've tried that, and it is not working. It's time to try it another way. I pray that there are representatives in this Capitol today who are brave enough to do the right thing. So take note of who is here today. Take note of who votes yay and nay. Flood their phone and emails with notes of support for action, and if they don't listen, remember their names at the ballot box. Vote for gun sense. We are the people. Never forget that. Thank you.